Hi, sir. How are you doing?
Hi, Tej.
How are you doing, sir?
Fine, fine. How
Sir,
are you?
good. Can I just test my presentation, sir?
Please, please, by all means. By all means. Good evening, all of you all.
Can you see the presentation, sir?
Yes. Transparency and Tej contractor goes together. I can see transparency and Tej contractor. Today is my
the
chance
next
of
slides
putting
are
that.
not playing.
I think
But the following slide, can you see the second slide, sir?
TMC compliance, but I can't see anything written on that.
Yeah, 1 second.
Good evening, all of you all. Good to see all of you all. So they'll keep coming in, but many of them come before time, which is so very good, extremely good. I just put it in the Telegram group that you are coming in. I had announced it on Sunday itself, but then.
Sorry, I'm a little poor on Telegram because there is just too many
I understand.
chat modes.
No problem. In case we need your expert opinion, we'll call you. You're the expert, no, Baba. and we should respect experts.
No, sir. Now I think it's proper. Yeah.
Trade statistics.
Now you can see it, right?
Yeah, I can say it.
Correct. Okay, sir. So I actually send you the PPT, but what typically happens is that when you are using Apple and then you put it on a PowerPoint, it's not the most effective.
No. What I'll do is I will send your PPT also to is it Anto or Shanti Miss? Who is it?
Andrew here, sir.
Anto, hi. I just
Hi,
sent
sir.
it to dear Anto. So Anto takes care of the entire thing. I'm just sending it to you as a backup.
Okay.
Hi, Areva. Hey, why do you have? Yeah, hi. So they're already
Two
following your
girls.
footsteps, huh?
Yeah, already.
Hey, is it through? I know for the benefit of the participants, is it? I've heard from Deepak ji and others that your dad was so good that even customs officers used to come and consult him.
So my dad was involved. My dad was involved with the national board as well as the international board. So there is a United Nations convention called the Rotterdam. So Ministry of Shipping used to actually consult my dad. So any new draft regulation or policy, so the then Director General of Shipping was very close to dad. So, it would come, he would come over, they would have a cup of tea. On customs also, there is always a lot of interaction. So I have good debates. So very recently, East electronic sealing has started for exports about a couple of years ago. So I had the joint director who was leading that subject asking me what is the scope or what is the same process internationally? Is there a law? So, there is a give and take relationship. Unfortunately, with the department, it's always better to give and not take because then it comes in very pricey later on. So, usually, I'm fortunate that I don't have to really go or I don't interact with the officers as much as one does in my profession. But things are good. So like just right now, there was a webinar. There's a new change coming in.
But your bandwidth is lower. It says the Tej contractors network bandwidth is low.
Hang on. Sometimes it's on and off.
No problem. I'm just saying. Good evening, Pratik, Prerit, Betek, Mehul Bachek, Ankurji, Abhishek. Right, they're all wishing you all the best. Ankurji, Parth, Ishan, God bless all of you all, Betek. God bless all of you. Right, we'll start in exactly 2 minutes. All right. So this week, Tej, last week rather, we did a lot of exports. So this week again, we'll have 2 sessions on exports, and then Manas, good evening, but Nikhil, Karamveer, Jay Shah sir, thank you. You are the sponsor today. Good evening to all of you all. So again, we'll have 2 sessions on exports. So this is my bit. Some colleagues have got motivated. Nagendra Pai, Hiten Khandelwal ji, they have all got motivated to look at exports. Manas and all are already doing it. Abhishek is doing it very well. Prerit. So, okay, I'll start now. I'll start. God bless each one of you all. So, Tej, the idea is I'll take 5-10 minutes and then I'll give it to you, Bete. So, I'm just sharing the screen.
Sure, sir. No problem.
So we start as always with the disclaimer clause. I know you kids will now make fun of me, but that's okay, right? And yes, of course, Dr. Shrikant, yesterday was really good. I met Dr. Parimal Machad sir after, I believe, around 4 months. Okay, right? Last time I met him when he was in Mumbai, physically, of course, this time virtually. I thank all of you all. Today's knowledge partner, one of my knowledge partners, C. Abhay, is right here, right? We were just preparing the slides, right? A bit of it. And of course, today's real expert is Mr. Tej Contractor. He's an authority on international trade, including customs. Okay, I have the privilege of interacting with him in FMB 5. Okay, and I honestly I lost touch after that. So it was my first part of my FMB days. And but I still remember Tej because the faculties used to tell me that there is somebody who's very, very good in international trade. And I got in touch again with dear Tej, thanks to dear Deepak. So Deepak put me back. He said, "Hi, sir, Manan sir, you are forming some task force, I heard. Why don't you include Tej?" And I said, okay. The task force idea was very simple. Abhishek helped me in that. Again, very big exporter. The idea was, right, let's form a group and let's see what to do. So we decided what topics to take. Prerit delivered. Then, of course, Rashish came in. Right, we had project exports. Right, now we are continuing with compliances, and I can't think of anybody better than dear Tej, SPJ and FMB5, and his profile is right there in Telegram group. Wonderful, this which I got yesterday, Guru Purnima. I think this is extremely good animation, right? It means the question mark is bowing towards the exclamation mark, which is wonderful. Some very good things I got. This was even more better, right? That people have realized that the coronavirus itself, the COVID virus itself is a guru, right? So this was another amazing thing I got, which says that राइट जितने 100 साल में जो पढ़ नहीं सका आपने तो 60 दिन में पढ़ा दिया हमको राइट एंड आई थिंक इट्स मोर अबाउट ह्यूमैनिटी right and don't exploit nature right I think many of us have really understood that now. All of you all were grounded anyway. I always say that about FMB kids. Most of them are grounded, if not all, right? But then typically in a professional world we always, and Gani would say that, right? And Gani is so grounded, we tend to go after power, position, right? Climb up the ladder and things like that, right? But COVID has taught us the most important thing is, right, humanity is the most important thing. It is about humanity, right? Whether you are Mukesh Ambani, Anil Menon, or the person on the street, lockdown is a lockdown. We all suffer. It's as simple as that. Wonderful video to start our day with a good joke. I like this video. You'll like it. All of you will just watch it, right?
Good morning, class. Now I'm going to take your attendance. Peter Roy Chaudhary.
Antu, you can hear me, na? You can hear this, na?
Yes, sir. Very much louder.
Okay. This is an amazing video, right?
Twitter, you're doing. Good morning, class. Now I'm going to take your attendance. Peter Roy Chaudhary. Twitter, you're doing well. I like the essays with hashtags. And beta, increase your word limit. It's too small right now. Sit down, beta. Facebook subness. Facebook, beta, what is this I'm hearing? You're not only befriending your classmates, but their relatives, their parents, grandparents. What is wrong with you? Look at YouTube Rastogi. He has graduated from our class. And he's doing so well. And you're stuck here, befriending parents and families. Sit down now. WhatsApp Gupta. WhatsApp, what am I hearing? You're saying you'll make people graduate. First, you become graduate, spreading all lies everywhere. Sit down now. Instagram Mehra. Instagram, you're an average student, but you can do better. Sit down, beta. Zoom Pereira. Zoom, beta. Aap late hai mere class mein, but you're doing excellent. Excellent, beta. I'm loving your work. Sit down, beta. Ludo King Khan. लूडो बेटा आप नहीं होते तो क्लास एकदम बोर हो जाती. आपने सबको इतना हंसाया, खुश रखा. सिट डाउन बेटा. टिकटॉक चाइना वाला. TikTok, you came as a Chinese exchange student, and what have you done to my class? Everybody is singing ye pyari pyari do aankhiyan, allowing powder and whatnot, and also noting down their secrets and sending them back to China. You think I don't know? I will boycott you from this school. You wait and watch. Sit down now. And kids, today a new student is joining our class. His name is Arogya Setu Deshbandhu. Arogya beta, welcome to our class. From today, you will be the monitor of my class. Not only monitor, you will be the head boy of the school. And all of you kids who will step out of the class will have to take Arogya Setu with you. Even to the playground, even to the water cooler. Take it, beta?
I don't know, but the sense of creativity people have is absolutely amazing, right? God bless. So this is thanks to my son that I got this video, and I still wonder what is Ludo. I'll try and figure it out, right? So okay, so this is a donation for the social cause. Please, I request all of you all, right? I don't have any words to say. And now they say, I was talking to Ms. Rajshri Sai, and she was telling me that it's going to get more difficult for her now, because again, the lockdown has ensured that more and more people are staying at home. So that's going to be extremely tough for all of us. Okay. thank you Rashri Sai and CA Ashlesha for doing whatever you are for humanity. My sponsors Vismay, Hiranya, Grow It, Aditya, I think now I'll get the name of his company. Speedo, thank you, the Pi Brothers. SS Techno, Prasad, love you, bete. Keep up the good work. Thinking very big in today's terms, which is extremely good. Hartek, Simarpreet, all of you know him, right? Next week on Simarpreet's platform, we have Moradian sir coming in. That's even more good news. I'm meeting my teacher after a long time. All of us will meet our teacher after a long time. Of course, dear Akshay, God bless him. Absolutely amazing kid, right? Amazing family also, right? Grounded and doing extremely well. Sunanda, right? The waterproofing, right? Champs, right? Liv Satwik, a very important product for young mothers, right? By 3 lady entrepreneurs, which I'm stressing. Integrated group, the Shah family, love all of you all. Respects to Ketan sir, right? Keep driving India by your innovation and technology, respected sir and family. Yogesh Group, the real estate champs. MEBA, right? Textiles and international preschool. And yes, yesterday was, right, my kid from Orissa, right, who was into 2 businesses, Raj Lubricant, Swaraj, and of course, Hotel Starway. Amazing to say that he's thinking positive and going for the second hotel very soon. Today's sponsor, thank you very much, Jai Shah sir. Thank you very much, Jai Bete. Palm Tax Solutions. They basically, what do they do is very simple. We are looking for virtual accountants. They are the persons to go to, right? They give accounting services in-house, temporary, permanent. So you have somebody coming in for 2 days a week, 3 days in a week, the entire week. It is cloud-based solutions. They help you in taxation. They help you in professional tax filing, registrations, right? They help you in income tax filing of returns. And again, let me tell you, all that an accountant would do, but without being on your rolls, right? TDS filing, right? Income tax audit, and of course, ROC, right? Everything to do with ROC. I tried to put everything in one slide, but basically it's what we call as a virtual accounting services and compliances. And compliances is what Dear Jai is offering through his team. This is a wonderful family. I believe it's a first generation entrepreneur, right? That's where we really understand that, it is important to find a niche place and then get into that space. Maybe 10 years back, we never had something like this. Today, the demand is growing. I also thank Dharma sir for introducing such a wonderful colleague to me, because it's only through Dharma sir that I met Dear Jai. This is this wonderful family. Jai Shah is the managing director, right? Ms. Sejal is the director. And of course, the GST part is Mr. Jayesh Kharkanes. Okay, so this is an entire professional accounting services company. Yes, a small but well-groomed team. I always say that when you send photographs, please do send photographs of your team members also, because they are entrepreneurs. I respect all employees because they also give their best to the company. So it's not only about the founder. Definitely it is about the founder. It is about the second generation, third generation, and of course the employees who are entrepreneurs. I think that's what I keep saying. COVID has taught us the importance of every single person in life. God bless you, sir. Thank you for sponsoring, right? And it's through you, I want to send a message to the world that, right, we still need more sponsors, right? I keep appealing to this. Sessions will continue after exports, because Viral warned me that last time I put too much inside. So now I've decided I'll stretch the sessions, and kids are happy. So I'm also happy sharing that knowledge. Very soon I would invite your dear professors on. So I'm planning to call Hariharan sir, Moradian sir, all of them one by one on the panel. Hiten sir, of course, right? Jai Shankar sir, all of them will come on this panel. And plus my corporate clients, right? My corporate training clients. Kamlesh sir would come with Blue Ocean Strategy. So I've listed it out. So when I decided on Saturday that I'm continuing, I've listed it out. We will have fun together, lots of learning. So it's all about export plans. Stage is ready to take off, right? It's all about export plans. This is what I wanted to push you all into exports. So I wanted 3 sessions. God has been kind. I got 5 sessions. Okay. I didn't know much about exports, but I want you all to get into exports, because as Prerit said, if safety first and then exports is the way to go. And Prerit set the tempo with his energized presentation day 1, right? So I'm just continuing that. And frankly, I would again thank Professor Venki for this, because though I have not personally met him, there's a reason why I didn't want to go and meet him, right? Which, right, by nature, I'm slightly, right. Okay, anyway, so I've kept away, but I now realize he's done a great job. He's done a great job, right? Maybe the language is okay, but that's somebody's style. You know, we don't need to comment on somebody's style. The content, I realize, is absolutely good. Ansoff matrix is what I keep saying. Please keep a target now. Extremely good. Don't talk in air. Keep a target. Let's start pushing each other with targets. Extremely critical to have targets with deadlines, right? Define your target market. Love you, Rashish Bete. Love you. Soft spoken, but what a presentation. What a presentation on the dollar business. Today, somebody else also asked me. Yes, Deepak sir also called me and said, can I have his number? Right. I want to talk to him and right, find out right how we can collaborate. So love you, Rashish and Aditya Goyal, right? Goyal. Yes, it's all about expenses. But before I go to expenses, I'll pull back the slide here. I'll stop. Exports is very good, safety first, but it's also about compliances. If you don't do your compliances, things will go bad. This entire episode came in because of Mr. Deepak. I thank him from the bottom of my heart, who got into some bit of trouble because of merchant exports. And then he said, sir, why don't you talk to dear Tej? He can help you with compliances. I'll stop my slide sharing here. I invite the expert, right? I'm proud to say that I've interacted with him in FMB5, but now I realize that, you know, he has grown in stature. People respect him. The name is Tej Contractor, right? He is on the International Freight Forwarding Association. I've already put his CV for all of us to see, right? But I like to take 2 minutes for those who are not aware of Tej, right? To see Tej, you could please start your shares, right? He's an BCom, MBA, right? He's a member of advisory, right? Vocational Trading International Freight Forwarders Association. He is on the advisory body of legal matters, again with International Federation of Freight Forwarders, Zurich. Love you, Bete. If I keep reading this, it will go long, but I'd definitely like to read 2 more. International Chamber of Commerce on Incoterms 2010. He is on the International Chamber of Commerce, right? He is on the Federation of Freight Forward Association of India, Managing Committee member. Love him. Honorary President, Indian Institute of Freight Forwarding. Brihan Mumbai Customs House Agents Association Committee member, so on and so forth, so on and so forth, so on and so forth. And he ends by saying one thing, which is important. He has basically started Indian Institute of Freight Forwarders, is the training arm of the National Association of Freight Forwarders and Customs Brokers in India. The training arm, the program was started after we received validation from the International Association Vocational Trading Body. This validation was achieved in 2004, and thereafter, every 4 years, it has been revalidated. And this young man here ends his CV by saying this: my father, late Sri Mayur C. Contractor, wrote 15 modules which constituted the program. I had the pleasure of becoming a part of the institute in 2013 and have then upgraded the modules. So in a CV, he is now putting the last line in respect of his late father, and he has followed his illustrious father. God bless you, Tej. Right? More than your knowledge, I think one more thing that I would like to learn from you, I want my son and everybody to learn from you, is the respect you have for elders, which is so true for all FMBites. Love each one of you all. Over to you, dear Tej. I will now pull back and hand it over to you. So good to see Junior coming and sitting next to you, so that, you know, next time, maybe 15 years down the line, I'll remain young like this. You guys will become old. I'll call her for presentation. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. A very, a very amazing introduction. Thank you so much for that, sir. And I think you are too kind. So everybody, how are things going with you? I hope everyone is safe and sound. I just have one request. If you have any question and answers, just put them in the question and answers column. And I have the chat column open as well, so I'll try and read. So how many of you are actually exporting? Just say yes or no. Can we get the chat box a little bit active? This is just to test if you're paying attention, nothing else. So yes, yes, no, no. Okay. Great. So thanks so much. So now I know you all are paying attention. So now I can continue on in the presentation. I would like to thank everyone for taking time out and being here. And you will see throughout the presentation why and the importance of compliance. So, you know, we all talk about doing business with various countries. We sometimes do business with various countries, but little do we realize the level of compliance required is so high, and often we tend to, you know, miss it and fall into a trap. So what we're going to learn through this session today, we're going to talk about statistics just a little bit. That's just to excite you on, you know, vis-a-vis family business and how things are going. And what is the movement and the quantum of international trade. Then we're going to talk about the 4th C. So, you know, we all have heard about the 3 C's in marketing, but the 4th one is something that we all should pay attention to. Often we family businesses, and, you know, I had the pleasure, thanks to FB, Menon sir, and a lot of our, you know, current faculty and friends and our WhatsApp groups to interact with a lot. So everyone's great at going in commercial terms, you know, 10 ka 30, 30 ka 20, 20 ka 50. But when it really comes to, is this allowed or not? I mean, I see a lot of people stop dead in their footsteps and they say, and I know I love it that they ask the right question. So they ask why. Very few people really ask why. So we're going to talk about the big C, which you're going to see down the line. I'm going to give you a little bit crash course on Customs 101. I promise you it's going to be fun, not as boring as you think it is. Now, coming to, I saw a lot of people say yes in export. Can anyone tell me how many Incoterms there are? Just write number 1, 2, 5, 10, 11, 15, 13. Just put it on the chat group, okay? Then we're going to move on to free trade agreements. Sir's earlier slide spoke about region, and that was very interesting because free trade agreements do speak about that. And the last one being structured transactions, right? So this is what we're going to learn. Now let's look at the trade statistics of India. So can anyone guess what India is in billion in US dollars, in billions? And is it increasing? Or let's say, is it increasing or decreasing? Come on, guys, put in the chat box, increasing or decreasing? Increasing. Now, everyone knows about our balance of trade, right? So here's the perspective. Whilst you see, you have exports and imports. So India has done roughly about $205 billion worth of services exports, 206 to be precise. It has effectively done imports of only 125 billion. So there is a surplus. There is actually a trade surplus as far as services exports are concerned. Now let's go to merchandise. When we go to merchandise, we see that the trade deficit is actually increasing. Now that's really not a good thing for us. And this is why, you know, if you see the government, they've actually created an environment of boosting exports and trying to reduce imports, right? So everyone's with me on this one? Now let's move to the 4th C. The 4th C, as you all may have guessed it, is compliance, right? Now, for those of you who have exported, right? So we're going to play a small game. How many people are familiar with GST and LUT applicable for export? Just say yes or no. Yes. Okay, as you know, GST, as you know, exports under the GST regime, exports is taxable. But it's not fair that India exports its tax, right? So India has given provision to allow you to export through a letter of undertaking. Right? Everyone's familiar with this. What is different is purchase and sales are different under GST law, right? Now, GST law, for those who know it, is an amazing regulation, and it's a monstrosity. Those who are into GST consulting, guys, get ready to invest or get a lot of money, because I think the complications in GST are not out yet. In fact, if you look at the first 6 months alone, as far as GST is concerned, there have been so many changes, and I find that in audit, that's going to be a big challenge. I'm sure all of you are aware of self-sealing. Yes, Jay Shah, where can we invest in your company? Because I think you're going to be the next billionaire. So everyone's familiar with self-sealing permission, and when they are exporting, they are familiar with customs compliances, right? Everyone's familiar with all of these? Those who said yes to exporting? Right? Come on, guys, fire up the chat. Now, let's throw in a little flavor, okay? Now, where does the compliance actually come in? Now, I have about 7 things listed. GST. Yes, sir.
No. So the answer which has come from Abhishek Biani ji is, I guess, yes. So I think possibly, Abhishek is also hinting that they are not aware. So you may please cover that. Humble request.
Sure. So what we go into, so everyone's familiar with GST, purchase and sales under exports. Self-sealing permission gives you the ability to load your goods in a container in your factory rather than take it to the port, in order to prevent multiple handling, etc., and possible damage, pilferage, etc. Customs compulsory requirements are actually requirements. So for Rashesh Bhai has done a great session on exports, and he has spoken about HS codes. Now, for those who do not know, earlier the HS codes were different for every country. You had the WCO, which is the World Customs Organization, and they actually sat together and created a uniform tariff. So can you imagine, you quantify something in chapter 55 in one country and it was 65 in another country? So there was a unified regime in the early 90s called the Brussels Tariff Nomenclature, where you had most of the global tax or global HS codes around the same. With the last modification, so India follows an 8-digit HS code, and US and Europe follow a 10-digit HS code. However, globally, up to 6 digits, they are all uniform. Now, if I am exporting a particular product or importing a product or selling a product, everything is sold with a HS code. Now, based on that HS code, if I want to check what are the compulsory customs requirements. So if I'm exporting tobacco, if I'm exporting toys, if I'm exporting furniture, if I'm exporting pharma products, all of them have a certain requirement to permit you the export. So for example, if you have anything that is being applied on a skin, requires an assistant drug controller permission. Pharma also requires assistant drug controller permission. If you're doing agri products or wooden products, often you require phytosanitary certification. So that's what you call customs compulsory requirements. And the Indian Customs has actually listed this out on their website. So if you go to icegate.gov.in, you can actually find that out. You don't need to call anybody to ask for that information. Now we move on to the most interesting part. Goods and services tax. Everyone's familiar with GST, but guys, please review all of your returns, review twice or thrice all of your records, because GST is going to be very interesting. And GST, for those of you who don't know, GST is actually taught Indians what compliance is. I mean, it is the first legislation that actually said, I am going to allow you to do your thing right once. If you don't do it right once, I'm not going to give you the ability or possibility to change. I had a call from a chartered accountant who was a practicing exporter, and he called me up this is probably 6-8 months into GST. He called me and he said, Tej, I have a problem. So I said, sir, please tell me, how can I help? He mentioned that his chartered accountant, instead of filing his exports under exports, has filed it under deemed exports. Now, because of that, he doesn't get the credit. So he asked, what should I do? So I said, sir, debit him. And he froze for a second. Why? Because the amount was 16 lakhs. He went around saying that, you know, I have been friends with him since the 1980s. We did an articleship together. So I said, sir, if I would have made the mistake, would you have debited me? He said, yes. So I said, why the injustice? Then I explained to him, I said, sir, the cost of someone reading a law just because your chartered account is incompetent, there is a provision to modify the same. However, that provision to modify the same is in the annual return. Guys, please understand, GST is a baby, and it's going to turn into a monster if you don't pay attention to it, and especially from the exports perspective. You know, because a lot of you are purchasing under different tax structures, you can export under a 0.1% so that you mitigate your return. You don't have to block your funds. So please pay attention, talk to your chartered accountant. He was a more competent person to give you advice on that. If you do, you know, get some success there, you can always go to Jay. Jay is, you know, taking care of the most important subject that's going to govern our life for the next 2 decades. Then we move on to self-assessment and premises-based audit. How many of you have exported and then customs has come up after 3 months or 6 months or 3 years and said, hey, you've not done something right, or if you've imported and you've not done something right? Now, the ideal thing is that you have filed a document and you have cleared the goods and they have gone, or they have come in, one of the two. However, after 6 months, you will find out that someone will come and say, hey, listen, what you did was not right. Now you have to pay interest and penalty on this thing. The first response is that your officer has agreed to my classification or my price. If you see, the government has quietly on 8th April 2011 introduced a self-assessment scheme. Now the self-assessment scheme basically means that whatever assess the exporter is declaring or the importer is declaring is the correct assessment. If he has made a mistake, it is his problem. Even though we have checked the document, we have only verified the document, and they quietly amended in. So those of you who are exporting, and if you make mistakes, be careful. On top of that, now with self-assessment, they came up with a premises-based audit regulation. So those of you who were registered in the central excise regime and continue to have gone through an audit, you will actually find out that customs will come and do an audit on you as well. Earlier, a lot of people who were, malafide in importing or malafide in exporting higher value products to claim incentives. Guys, your days are numbered. If you look at the GST and the premises-based audit and combine them together, you are in for a lot of surprise. So, earlier the government had visibility only until the goods were cleared. Now the government has visibility who you sell the product to, who they sell it further to, who they sell it further to. So actually, eventually, you in the next probably decade or so, you're going to have a system doing an audit by itself. How many of you export chemicals? This is a good for everybody, and that's why I put it in the middle. Chemicals or any ball bearings, some auto components, some components for radars, mobile phones. Anyone? Just say yes in the chat, please. So I think yeah. So there are some that can be dual use and can be used for the wrong reasons as well. So there is something called the SCOMET regulations. Now India, and this is all done in the last 2 years, and it's really fascinating to see how most trade is actually clueless on this. What happened is that all of you knew that MEIS is being discontinued. Now the US and India had talks, and each one uses leverage. Now, under the Terrorism Act, there actually is goods being monitored all around the world. So one regulatory agency, whilst the negotiation was going on between US and India, came out and said, hey, listen, your regulations for SCOMET, which is to protect, basically these are weapons of mass destruction, or things can, like radars, etc., that can be used for terrorism or other activities, is quite loose. You have to do something about the regulations. And yes, we will go something about the regulations, etc. Came back. There was one company who exported products, and eventually it landed up in the wrong hands, and it was used in one of the disaster, one of the terrorist activities. So the US government actually identified who the supplier was. So they came up with, on the same thing, on the next round of discussion, the Indian government proudly said that we have actually taken them to task. When they asked, how have you taken them to task? They had fined them. What had they fined? 15,000 rupees. So the government, they went back and they increased that fine from 15,000 rupees to 7 lakhs. And in addition to that, they said, you can be imprisoned also. Nowhere in the world, unless and until you are involved in the transaction, can you be imprisoned. So everything was in place. Now, in the third round, overzealous to see how we can do it, what they went and said, any item that is not falling under our list also, however, it can be used for the wrong reasons, the exporter must self-declare and come and register with us. So imagine you are using ball bearings. Now ball bearings or even nails, right? They can be put in a bomb. So ideally speaking, if someone wants to really come and catch you for the wrong reason, especially looking at the premises-based audit, they can actually throw out the SCOMET regulations on you. And let me tell you, less than 1% of the Indian exporters, 1% of the Indian logistics companies actually are aware of the whole thing. For those of you who are exporting, for donkey's years, I mean, there was that movie, Special Chabbis, where a lot of import frauds would take place. Now, under invoicing and over invoicing in case of export, for those of you who do not know, when you are exporting, you can actually get incentives from the government. Now, if you have used malified declarations to claim a higher incentive, you can actually apply the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Now, this came in about 3 years ago. And again, silently, no one is really aware of this whole situation. This was actually a move pushed by DRI. Coming to when you export and import, there are 3 very important things which you need to be aware of. The valuation rules, the classification rules, and the intellectual property rights. Now, do you know India and Europe have been talking about a free trade agreement since 2009. The only reason it did not go through in the last round of discussions, purely because the Swiss pharma companies wanted that the Indian pharma companies' the owner's personal assets should be attached. India said no, because it was out of the purview of the company's law. The German auto majors wanted that their cars and auto products be imported into India duty-free, which is why these two industries, these two very important industries, actually brought down the FTA. And if you see, it was purely due to intellectual property rights. Now, there have been a lot of cases of IPR frauds, so you can have copy products, etc. Stay away from those transactions, no matter how lucrative they are. If you don't understand the intellectual property rights, please don't touch a product. I'm telling you, there are a number of people who have got into a discussion or an agreement. And Samsung, just for your information, Samsung has got an injunction against 106 importers, purely because they infringed IPR. Classification is a science. Some people are creative, right? so if you are exporting a product, a buyer in another country will tell you, please classify under a different chapter because it benefits me, because I can import it under a lower rate of duty. Let me tell you, the moment you misclassify, with the GST regime, your purchases are typically the chapter is picked up. Your sales in case of an export, the chapter is picked up, and vice versa. The moment you misclassify, you are going to get picked up for an audit. And we all know that there are gaps in, compliance some way or the other. So this is just a few. There are many, many more. Coming to learn, you must want to be taught. So I would thank all of you for coming in. It is purely because you want to learn on a Monday evening, which is a busy day of the week, listening to me giving a very boring lecture. And I promise to make it more fun in the coming slides. So for those of you who are attending this session, the session is free. They say shipping is also free, but nothing comes free in life. And we should all, realize that. So guys, often when we need guidance or advice, what do? We post it on a group, we ask a friend, we go to somebody. But what we have to realize that whatever the earlier slide was in topics, discussions, what applies to me may not apply to you. What applies to you may not apply to another person, even though there is a similarity to the situation or the problem. So one must realize that nothing is free in life, and you must go to the right person for advice. Now we come to a very interesting slide. How many of you know what customs is? Just raise your hand, say, yes, I know. Nobody? Come on, guys. You all have not gone to sleep, have you? So, all of us have traveled overseas at some point or the other, and there is usually a border protection agency. What the border protection agency is, they ask you, what is the purpose of your trip? Why are you coming into this country? How long do you want to stay? Where will you stay? What is your occupation? And do you have anything to declare? So there is a red channel and a green channel, right? So all of us have experienced customs at some point or the other. Some have had good experiences, some have had bad experiences. Just for your kind information, please never carry food when you travel. It's always, especially wet food. Dry food is still okay. And when you go to Sikkim, please don't carry that Bhut Jolokia back. Otherwise, like me, you will have to go back and recheck in your bag. So when we clear goods, also customs declarations that we have to file. Fortunately, the only exemptions are Santa, because he comes straight through and gives us our gifts. I've still not figured out where he comes from. If anyone has the answer, please do share with me. Now, let's see how customs works. So does everyone feel that this is the way customs works? If you feel, then please express your opinion in the group, in the chat, please. Wow. Everyone feels that customs doesn't work in this manner? No idea.
Unfortunately,
yes. So let me tell you one thing. Please remember one thing. I spoke in my earlier slide about post or premises based audit. No matter what you do, if you don't follow the regulation, you may have felt gratification is the way and got you through, but on your compliance check or checklist, you will certainly have problems. And if you follow this slide, what is going to happen? You are actually tying a balloon on your neck, considering you're a fish, and you are going to fly, and fly for all the wrong reasons. So for those of you who know, even big companies CFOs, the last one being Kishore Biani, the Future Group CFO, was actually arrested by DRI purely for a matter, right? So please don't try it. Now coming to what is customs? We all complain about customs and customs being a problem and situation, but let me tell you, customs is nothing but an implementation agency. The role of customs is to collect revenue, to enforce.
Hey,
So if you have goods, yes.
So there's a remark for you from Rohit ji, Rohit Basinji. Slides are very interesting.
Thank you very much. You'll love the next slide. It's even better. Thank you, Rohit ji. So, so coming back, customs as an enforcement function. So for example, all of us, we buy laptops and computers and switches and devices which are imported. However, they are subject to Bureau of Indian Standards. So customs enforces it. Those of you who import, or those people who import with malified intent, they enforce the law. Customs also implements trade agreements. We are going to talk about this a little further down the line. And those of you who are exporting, those of you who have not exported, this is going to be a very interesting topic for you. The fourth one being community protection. Customs actually protects our borders from any wrong things coming in, and therefore protect the country. Customs also in trade policy. So customs does not, if you see, your direction of customs does not come from anywhere but the Directorate General of Foreign Trade and other bodies. Customs will perform an auditing function. So audit department has always been there since the early years of India, but now you will be seeing them a lot more. Trade statistics is one, like the statistic you saw in the earlier part of the slide was from the Ministry of Commerce data, which actually came from customs. And the most important, national security and border protection. Today, we have COVID. Who has protected people from coming in the country? The military is only on the north and probably in the northwest and the northeast. But the customs and the Coast Guard effectively protect people from coming into the country. Going further, and Rohit ji, this is specifically for you. Often we learn from people, right? But we learn from people who give us advice, and they learn from our mistakes, not the other way around. We should actually try and learn from someone's mistakes, and this goes on common. I have two young girls. No matter how, and all of us have probably been through this, no matter how you tell them a fire is hot till they burn their hand, they will never learn. So you do not want to be giving advice on a topic which you have lesser domain knowledge or no domain knowledge on. That is a recipe for disaster. I teach this in my slides. So sir has been kind enough to share my introduction. So I teach a lot of the custom brokers and logistics service providers in India on regulations. And this is one of my, this is one slide I spend the most amount of time. And I'll give you a second on this. So I had a fellow FMBI who called me up and he said, Tej, I want to run something by you. I said, sure, tell me. He had a shipment, and sir, this is on top of your list on your earlier slides. He had a shipment into Ethiopia, which went and reached the destination. However, started creating problems and said, I'm not going to take the shipment unless you give me a 50% discount. So he wanted to know his legal position and standing. So he called his customs broker or a freight forwarder, whoever he was using. And the broker turns around and said, sir, India law mein to NOC ke bina kuch nahi ho sakta hai, to udhar bhi same hoega, sir. Now, I actually told him, I said, tera please de. For the simple reason, when you look at this transaction, and this is a very simple transaction, right? Or so it seems. You have to look from the buyer and seller side. So for example, what is the position of the buyer and seller? Have the goods reached the destination or not? So another way of looking, another point, angle of looking at it is, what is the regulation of the law in that country? So if a manifest has been filed, a manifest cannot be changed. The third angle looking at is the shipping line's point of view. The shipping line, and when there is an original document is like a bearer check. So if you have the original BL, you are considered the owner of the goods. So if the document was in transit or no one had the document, or if the buyer had the document, there is a shipping line angle that comes in. And fourth, which is the most important, and a lot of you who are exporting may have faced, that is something called EDPMS. When you export, you have to receive foreign exchange. And what Menon sir mentioned about Deepak and me have friends for a very long time. And we got connected on a merchanting trade transaction. Now there is a law of RBI. So I'm a person who does custom clearance, but I'm actually aware of a lot of regulations because I need to be aware of them. There is a law that says if you have exported from or exported to company A, however, received money from company B, will not be credited in your transaction because it's not permitted. So can you imagine the boo-boo that the custom broker made by giving advice on a topic that he assumed that he had information, and he just wanted to be smart and give an answer. So please, if you don't know the answer, don't take free advice and don't learn from people's mistakes, right? Now coming to what is the regulation? What are the regulations? Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, dear Tej, the idea of the session is very simple, right? As we said right from the beginning, I'll just take 30 seconds with it, Tej, right?
Yes, sir.
Safety first and then exports. So the idea is, when you get into exports, know the framework, know the guidelines, because an informed person always ensures that he will never get into trouble. So what Tej is trying to repeatedly tell us is, right, you see, once you get into exports, right, it's very good, lot of incentives, right, you can do everything, but understand the framework, and it is not very difficult, right? If you have the right expert to tell you, right, like I keep saying, insurance, it's a very simple product, but if you take the wrong product, you are misled. So the idea of the session, I repeat again, is to, thanks Abhishek for your WhatsApp, is basically to give you a framework within which you should operate. Sorry, Tej, please continue.
Thank you, sir. So coming to, I was always the most outstanding student. I always stood outside class. Ever since I was a child, my father always pushed me to play, and I was a professional athlete. So when I graduated, and half the people in my family were surprised that I graduated, let alone I did my higher education. And if they find out about me teaching you all now, I think they'll probably fall off the wagon. Just joking. So I said, Dad, my education and studies are over. I don't need to study any further. Okay. Little did I know what I was getting into. There are so many regulations that one needs to learn in international trade. So many regulations. Even during the lockdown, the biggest and most entertaining thing that has been, there is every day there is something new that comes up, and you are forced to read. And let me tell you, an observed and something that you read yourself is something that you can really understand. So just to give you a synopsis, apart from the customs and notifications on the left side, sir mentioned insurance regulations. Now I'll give you an example of insurance with the Incoterms later on. You have transport regulations. Now, transport regulations are of three kinds. A country has a transport regulation, the world has a separate transport regulation, and a region has a separate transport regulation. My mistake, this Incoterms should be 2020, not 2010. I apologize, I copied it from a previous slide. The Montreal Convention deals with your air cargo regulations. If you want to export, or those who exports, if you read the back of the bill of lading, I promise you will stop exporting. That's where the Hamburg and the Hague rules come into play. It speaks about liability to a large extent and limited liability for the carrier. The World Trade Organization Trade Facilitation Agreement. This is the single most change that is going to probably, or that has rationalized, the world trade. No about trade facilitation agreement? Can you just say yes or no, please? So just to share, India has surrendered its sovereignty to a large extent, and so has a lot of the world, when they signed up for the TFA. And most people don't realize that. The TFA is going to effectively give direction to $1 billion worth of trade. That's what the WTO estimates are. And it's going to reduce barriers and unify law, the World Customs Organization, etc. So I won't dwell into that too much, but this is what one has to study. I wish I was still in school. Now we come to the part. So I don't want to learn karate, but I really need a new belt, right? So we all, why I put this slide up, we all want to do a lot of things, but we don't want to put the effort behind studying. Now, if a building has to be built and the foundation is weak, that's a recipe for disaster.
Superb,
right?
superb.
So the same way, when we come to the Incoterms, now the Incoterms are international commercial terms.
Tej, 1 second. Right, but
Yes.
if you could just look at the WhatsApp also, a humble request, your WhatsApp, right? And can you put up the slide again, right? The earlier slide again, please. So this is the fundamental thing of life. I believe, if your base is right, you can keep going above. You can keep moving above. The idea is very, very simple, right? Today we wanted a technical education, right? Because you need to understand that yes, it is definitely easier than earlier, right? But then you need to know all the terms. Okay, that's one. And for me also, if you realize, dear class, I'm also trying to pick up a lot of things here. Tej, you have a wonderful art of making your slides so beautiful. I think I need to learn it from you. Yeah, too good, too good. Please continue, Vijay. Please continue.
I was always the outstanding student, so I love color on the screen. So coming to what are the Incoterms? Incoterms are basically international terms. They have been used since 1936. And let me tell you, we are almost 100 years into the Incoterms, 15 years short. And let me tell you, 99% of trade does not know what the Incoterms are. So it's very simple. You can read it and you will know what they are. Now, this is just a foundation. What they don't do is they do not substitute a contract of sale. They don't deal with goods and payments. They are not a law, but there could be a legal regime that could apply. In India, there is no legal regime. So all the banks follow the Incoterms. So this is a little bit on the history. You have 8 editions. The 9th edition is the Incoterms 2020, which came in. I was fortunate to be a part of this. So I've been involved with the International Chamber of Commerce since 2014. I worked on a simplification document for the earlier Incoterms. And since 16, I've been working on the Incoterms 2020. In fact, 3 of my suggestions have come in the current version of the Incoterms. So for those of you who don't know, there are 11 Incoterms, and it's very simple. This is a small chart. Incoterms talk about what is your risk and what is your responsibility. So when you buy X factory, you know who the seller what the seller pays for and what the buyer pays for. So it is a document that basically simplifies things to ensure that you don't have any disputes. And it's very well drafted. If you go through it properly, and the most familiar terms that are used are a term called Ex Works. However, it's better to use a term called FCA, and they are, for a lot of the other people, so the most widely used terms are like FOB, CIF. I'll come to those terms a little bit later. So there are 11 terms. They are categorized into sea or inland waterways. Now, the easiest way to remember them is E, F, C, and D. E means your factory or your place. F means the port of loading. So let's say if you're exporting, F means your liability or risk ends when you reach when your goods go on board the vessel. C means the port of destination. So let's say I'm exporting something to Chicago. If I see E, F, C, and D terms in one transaction, E means my factory. So that's where my responsibility ends. F means the port in India. If you're exporting from the western part, it would be Nhava Sheva. C terms would be reaching New York port or any port gateway where the goods container would offload. And D would be going for a door delivery in Chicago. So that is the buyer's warehouse. So if you look at it, E and D are actually mirror terms. Okay. And F and C are also mirrors. So there's a very easy way of remembering it. Now I have put Incoterms 2000 because in the Incoterms 2000, this is the way the terms were classified. I still use that as an easy reference. So you have to try and just remember this slide and it will go into your long-term memory. So just to go into details, I will not go in too far. So Incoterms cover your obligations when delivery transfers, risk. Carriage means, you know, who contracts carriage. And you have three carriages. You have pre-carriage, main carriage, and post-carriage. So pre-carriage is, you know, from your factory to the port. Main carriage is your air freight or sea freight on the main voyage. And then post-carriage is once you reach the port of discharge. Incoterms covers insurance as well, and that was included in the Incoterms 2010. Just to give you two stories. So we had one buyer who called me up and he said that, Tej, we had a shipment which has gone from Germany to Poland, and that shipment was stolen in connivance with the transport operator. So there was a 800,000 euro claim which was denied because of the fact that they used CIF in road transport. And the insurance company denied that claim, saying that please show me where CIF can be used in a road transport. So it's, you know, what you need to do is just choose the terms properly. So it covers everything: who is responsible for clearance, delivery, transport document, etc. Now we come to the most interesting part. So a lot of you would have probably felt that I'm scaring you and you know, you want to stay away from exports. But what you have to realize is that, guys, whenever you approach a transaction, right? So the first thing, if you want to buy a house, the first thing you say is what? Kitna appreciate hoga. If you want to invest somewhere, you say how much or what is my downside? We all look at things from a risk perspective, right? And then we say, okay, I will invest in an FD. Like Menon, I had attended a session of his about 8 weeks back, and sir said he would like to prefer investing in a particular asset class. Why? Because his appetite was there. It is very important for you to understand these compliances and overcome these compliances. If you overcome these compliances, you will never go wrong. And a lot of times, and I love this slide because of the fact that I loved Charlie when I was a little child, and Snoopy was one of my favorite dogs. I still had a Snoopy with a skateboard there somewhere in the house. And it says, we lived, so Charlie Brown, who's supposed to be a smart, you know, kid, human brain is supposed to be more complex and much smarter than animals. He says, we live only once, Snoopy. And Snoopy turns around and says, wrong, Charlie Brown. We die only once, but we live every day. So even if you fail, even if you make mistakes, even if you have a problem, remember, it is only when you try and constantly continue to try is when you are going to succeed. Coming to the last 5 minutes of my presentation, we all talk about free trade agreements. Now in 2000, I'm going to run by this very quick. So something like EU is a free trade, is a free zone. Now, when you have free trade agreements, there are lots of types of free trade agreements. You have mutual recognition agreements, you have regional agreements, you have partial scope agreements, you have actual free trade agreements, you have something called a customs union, union. So you have two countries may be part of the same union. They have the same agreement where the tariffs remain the same, but they are not aligned in free trade amongst each other. You have a common market economic union. So typically these are some examples of free trade agreements. And all my hair has been lost trying to study all of them. I must share with you, I'm not aware of all of these yet. And they are a very extensive topic. You would be pleased to know that India is a signatory to about 13 agreements. And let me share with you, a lot of us stay focused on doing business with Asia, doing business with Europe and US. Of late, we've seen a lot of people talk about Africa. Let me tell you, there is something called the African FTA which has come in. It is the first agreement that has been formed by the African Union and signed by all 54 African countries. There's a dispute between 54 and 55. I had the pleasure of meeting the guy who was behind it in my trip to South Africa. He had come from Addis. Before this, you only had something called CEDAC, and you had another agreement in Africa where CEDAC was a part of 16 countries, and the other one was a part of about 8 countries. So can you imagine you send your goods into Kenya or send your goods and effectively it will move across like a goods moving across in the EU. So Africa is the next biggest market in my opinion. India is a signatory to a lot of agreements as well. You should take advantage of this because as your goods coming into, going into those countries are duty free, a lot of imports from those countries can be duty free. Here is just some of them. You can find them on the CBIC website. The last one is very important, duty-free preference for least developed countries. So when you're importing, so this is how countries cooperate. When you import from countries, which social standard is not so high, you can actually get a lot of benefits from those countries. So you would have seen Gabon, doing a lot of marketing in the recent times. So you'll find a lot of African countries trying to push that. Last, we come to structured transactions. Now, I have not given you, slides or so to elaborate, but a structured transaction is a series of transactions which may or may not involve various individuals, entities in the same or different countries. So just to share with you, we had what a structured transaction is like. How you have investment bankers, right? They create structures for you. Having your logistician is very important because to give you an example, you may buy a product from China, but you may sell it to a third country. You may buy a product from Europe, import it into China, sell it to a third country, and that third country control it and send it to a fourth country. I'll give you examples of structured I handle. We had a shipment which was supposed to move from China to India. So the physical movement of goods was only China to India. So there is a concept of flow of goods and flow of services, flow of documents. So flow of goods was China to India. However, there were 4 transactions. So a Chinese party was selling to an Indian company was selling to a Sri Lankan company, Sri Lankan company was selling back to an Indian company was selling to a Singaporean company was selling back to an Indian company. Now, out of these 4 transactions, two involved a letter of credit. So how do you create that structure? Now, when you create this transaction, a lot of people, find it very convenient and say, switch BL kar do. Guys, please don't. You have to consider regulations. Always think things through, always, and there is immense number of opportunities there. Going back to Snoopy. Snoopy was the smart one in my opinion. So become a smooth Snoopy. Make sure you identify where your opportunities lie. I would personally focus on free trade zones. I would certainly focus on areas where we have economic cooperation. You have a lot going for you. Today, there is a lot of negative sentiment globally, a lot of negative sentiment with some countries in Asia. India has the ability to pick up and take things further. It is up to you to do it. How and where, if you're stuck, Menon sir has enough assets to guide you on how things are there, but open, spread your wings, fly. Only, there may be fear at initial point of time. However, if you do it once, if you do it twice, then you'll get a comfort factor. Okay. With that, I conclude my session. Thank you so much. You can contact my cell phone or my email address mentioned above. And I've shared this presentation with Menon sir also, so you will be able to get it in the group soon. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Very much, dear Tej. Lovely presentation, right? Lovely presentation. So I would again thank Deepak ji who got me back to you. By the way, FMB 10 onwards, So I taught FMB 4, 5, and 6, and then I took a sabbatical, right? And then I came back in FMB 10, and now you could see the chat. It's all coming in. Amazing input, Stage by, great presentation, very enjoying, excellent session, Tej sir, Stage sir, arey wah, super presentation. That's from dear Gani. A lot of learnings. Thank you, Tej by. Right. So this is awesome, and thank you very much, Mr. Tej. Excellent. So Tej, you rock. Love you. You rock. Right. I'm so privileged to have you here. I would like to thank dear Tej, and especially Mr. Deepak, from FMB3. I've not taught him, but he told me very clearly that Menon sir, right, please call dear Tej. He's an authority. So what was the idea of this? Yes, obviously, Nikhil, this was awesome. Absolutely awesome. That's the feedback that's come from Nikhil Jain to us. Right, Abhishek, you're right, Bete. I have deliberately ensured that we don't have a chat disturbing. Right, sorry about that, because thoda gadbad hua tha Hartake ke time mein, and I sometimes I tend to get angry, right, because it disturbs the flow. Right, though it's not fair as a teacher, but then I need to tell all of you all that the session was very clear. Importance of having an expert on board. Right, it's easy. Look at the words. Spread your wings. Keep moving up. Things are not as difficult as it was earlier. Tej says, yeah, you could come in. Tej, before I get on to my last 5 minutes, the idea of getting Prerit to start the entire session, and not Abhishek Vianney, was to send a message to each one of you all that if somebody from Tier 2 and Tier 3 city can do it and do it well, then I think all of you all can do it. I could have invited Abhishek to do it, but then some of you all will say, oh, tu Damodar hai, bada hai, Mumbai ka hai, tu usko aata hai. So calling dear Prerit from Indore was to send a message. Ha bete, ek yaad rakhna sab log. Please have the right professional advice. Please have the right professional advice. Deepak ji is a great guy, right? He introduced me to this wow, wonderful professional. I want to also say a couple of things here. All of us, I want to share a wonderful product of a dear colleague, which I want to say. So I'll just take five more minutes. Yes, there was one very important comment on the chat. Extremely critical for all of us to understand that logistics is going to be the key thing. I'm so happy that after the session started, Impact Sure, a company run by my dear friend, and all of you know him, Mr. Dharmarajan, has got his first US client today. Right, so sir was trying for it, and today he just sent me this WhatsApp. I'm continuously on WhatsApp. Abhishek WhatsApp, Piyush Gupta WhatsApp. Yes, I'm working from office. I have not left. After this, I'll go back home. And Piyush, I don't know how you noticed. God bless you. Right, it's just the energy comes from you all. So Dharma sir, congrats. He has cracked the first deal in US. It's a 1-year-old firm, and why do they crack? Right now, this company known as Impact Sure Consultants. Why do they crack? Because it's all about products. I kept telling Hitenji also that, bete, aapke paas product hai, abhi market mein jana hai. So this is the products of Impact Sure, right? One of the products I thought I should tell you all, amazing person, Mr. Subramaniam, who quit a very well paying job and joined Mr. Dharma. All of you know Mr. Dharmarajan now. And one thing, and this is also for Tej, is they have come out with something which is right, robotic processing automation. I'm not very good at this, but I'm still learning. And it's a product which helps to keep track of all logistics, right? So you may have many shipments at very points of time. So let me read out what I was told by Subbu sir, right? Through RPA, we gather information of different courier status and give that tracking on a single screen. So that's the first advantage. So this is automation for you. We are looking at cutting costs. By keeping a track of the dates, we can also check back with the contract and identify slips. Extremely important, they can give you the best fit of courier based on the location and time to deliver. And last but not the least, they will help you also to ensure that there is no overbilling. Thank you very much, Dharma sir. With such products, I'm sure, right, you will have many more such export orders. Tej has conveyed one very important feeling to all of us. Exports karna hai, lekin safety first. You need to have professionals. अच्छा, अभी सबसे एक रिक्वेस्ट है, देखिए बुरा मत मानिए, प्यार से बोल रहा हूँ. Professionals need to be respected. देखो बेटे, हाथ से जोड़ रहा हूँ, मेरे बारे में नहीं बात कर रहा हूँ. I'm not talking of Anil Menon. Okay, I am a teacher. I am happy doing that. लेकिन please respect professionals. उनका टाइम का जरा कीमत रखो. कि please understand, जैसे आपका capital है in terms of assets, for a professional, his time is important. So never be penny wise, pound foolish. Have the right consultants. See, India make problem kya hai na? Why talent is not there and they go to United States? The reason, why do people miss-sell? Why do they give commissions? Why do they sell products with higher commissions? Because it's not a fee-based service. So please, aap yaad rakhiye sabse. Don't be penny wise, pound foolish. Take the proper advice. I'm not saying go to Tej. Tej is overloaded with work. But go to people like Tej, who will be able to guide you. Now, Deepak ji himself is having a small bit of an issue. Right, I discussed with Tej. He said, "Yeah, we can manage." And genuine guy. Right now, all of you are genuine exporters and importers. Please follow these norms very, very clearly, because then once you get into the blacklist, then things can go wrong. And Abhishek, thank you very much for your WhatsApp, bete. The idea was to warn all of you all that take care of all the precautions and then keep exporting, keep going, keep doing well. We are not doing anything illegal, and it's a very simple thing. Yes, I conclude with this last slide. I can't be as good as Tej slide, but मेरा slide भी ठीक ठाक ही है, क्योंकि thanks to my son, right, Shri Krishna, your slides are too good here. The harder the journey, the stronger you will become, and that's something life has taught me. Export करना ही है अभी आपको, करना ही है. छोटे टाइम में कर दीजिए ना. Why? No, which Asian country was Tej talking about? China. Why is business going from Vietnam and Taiwan? Why not India? When we are also doing very well. Please go ahead. Government is looking at it, but are we following our path? That's very important. Tej wants to make a point. Yes, yes, beta, please go ahead.
Sir, so see, there is a whole bunch of challenges. So, and there is a lot of companies who want to work with India, but the environment needs to improve further. So, if you actually go further and read, there's a lot of good, schemes out there. It's not just your TMA, etc. We can actually facilitate trade. There is a lot of negativity there, which we can capitalize on. But there's only one thing in the international market you have to, pay attention to, is you have to be true to your word. So if you say, so I'll tell you, yeah, I've been fortunate to lose a lot of hair outside the country and not India until 2014. Okay. Or even up till 2016, if you went out, you were considered a second citizen everywhere else. And our Honorable Prime Minister, the way he has taken the mantle, and especially, you will not believe, coming to GST, I've had people globally and extremely large corporations, when GST was coming, they would actually say, come sit on the table with us and please explain what GST is. Now we have the new single most change and the biggest regulation coming in for shipping, which will come in 1st August. It's called the Sea Cargo Manifest Regulation. It is going to change the way things work, and everyone is looking at India because it's the largest market after China. So what you have to do is you have to, stay focused, stay hard. So last thing, sir, I would love to connect with Dharmaji, because I also build, so we have a tech company as well. So apart from custom clearance and freight forwarding, we are into consulting, and we started a software where we give real-time visibility of things. So we have RPAs, which we have built. So we've built 3 RPAs of our own. In fact, one of the, if you mentioned Dharmaji, I would love to connect with Dharmaji to try and see how we can synergize.
Definitely. In fact, my request, I will connect you. That's my word. In fact, next thing I'll do, in fact, in the next 5 minutes, you will see that I would have connected, right? I'm on a drive. I want more and more business to happen within us. As simple as that. Some of you are amazed at my energy, but it's just passion. As simple as that. You will get Sir's WhatsApp in the next 1 minute, right? Colleagues, one last thing from my side. Love all of you all. It is tough, but we need to get it. India needs business people. India needs right people like you to come in and take charge. When Sridevi engineers, I went in, I just asked a simple question. I said, right, how many people have you been working with? Right, how many people? He said, we employ 450 people. Now, I told him, but I have not come here to help you. I've come here to help 450 people. Please look at exports. Next session, you will have the IDBI head, ex-head, coming and talking about export finance. Tej and Dharma sir, the numbers are shared. Okay, that's Anil Menon for you. Okay, right? Amazing. No, okay. Don't worry. Yeah, I told you that after 20 years also, you'll see me with the same spirit. Okay, but this is the time I want all of you to do well. Thank you for Telegram Menon Mantras. I'm still getting a lot of personal WhatsApps. So what I now do is take that personal WhatsApp, put it on Telegram and answer the question. And I'm so happy that the HR head of Aircel today was speaking finance, Srinivasan sir. And I called him and said, sir, ye kya ho raha hai? He said, that's the change that now people are talking about. HR head talking finance about sovereign gold bonds. Bhai, kya ho raha hai, yaar? I'm so happy. God bless each one of you all. Right? If I say again, he will not like it. Thank you, Hitenji, for Telegram Men and Mantras. It is not the number of people. It is what we are doing for each other. I'm going to have a business week is what my plan is, where each one will talk about your own product. So if somebody like Tej will say, can you connect me to Dharmaji? Or Dharmarajan sir would say, no, can you connect me to Abhishek Bihari? So I'm planning something like that because I see a lot of potential of business within us. And business is not a dirty word. I'm sure, right, when Dharma talks to, dear Dharma sir talks to Tej, he'll say, "Okay, yaar, we can collaborate and we can conquer the world." Thank you very, very much, Tej. I think I got the best feedback came in from dear Gani. He said that, look at this, look at this, look at the words. I'll just end by saying thanks, very valuable and easy learnings from your presentation. Right, you be true to your word and keep things in writing, right? That's the word. Prerit has said this and dear Tej repeated this. Another great session. Thank you, sir. Right. And one more very, very important thing which came from dear Tej himself, following his illustrious father's footsteps. Right. I'm saying this again and again. Love you, Bache. Right. And love you for what you are. Right. Thank you very much for connecting us all. Okay. Keep rocking, Tej bhai. And one more thing from Nilesha. I got scared. You know, Nilesha would say, "Can I get a discount on the professional services?" Tu marwata hai yaar, Nilesh, hamesha mujhe. Right? Last time me marwa. I was getting scared. No, but this time he's saying, post-COVID, let's organize a great get-together. Done. I will do it. Thank you very, very much. All right. Namaste. Wednesday is export financing. Today was an expert talking on compliances. Right? And it's just to give you a gist. I will put it the slides immediately on Telegram group. You have dear Tej's number. He is part of the Telegram group. You can write to me. I'll connect you. Karna hai kuch. Sabko kuch na kuch karna hai. God bless each one of you all. Thank you very, very much. But a last remark from Ketan sir and Manas. Ketan sir is the person, technocrat. Thank you. Great insights. And this is a gentleman who does work for BARC, Nuclear Power Corporation, and name all the big PSUs. And they are also into exports. Thank you very, very much. God bless. Thank you, Antoji. Right, Prerit is very politely reminding me. Yes, of course. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. And Rohit says, add me on Telegram. But I mera number deta hu. You can write to me. I'll give you the link. Okay. Thank you. Right. And Tej, I love you. Right. But I love your daughters more. Okay. God bless.
Thanks, sir. Sorry about that. Have a great day and week ahead, everybody. Stay safe.